What's up, guys? So yeah, I got this to work. I made a really dumb discovery when I put it back together. One of the there's a valve right here. It's just like a metal cylinder. I put it in backwards, and that's why it wasn't holding pressure. Well, not holding pressure, but that's why it wasn't recocking the bolts. Um, because the valve was in backwards and it was causing issues, and I flipped the valve around and it works fine. So this is a Chrono shot. I was just doing some of these. It was hitting like 270, 260. I turned it up a little bit and it's been sitting for a little bit, so I'm going to see if it's any higher. 274. These aren't meant, because this is like an old paintball gun, these aren't meant to be hitting like 400 or nothing like that. I just want to see what this can do. That was a 3.6 gram ball. 274. Right now you can buy one of these, like an updated version, for like 80 bucks. They're pretty cheap. This style of marker. 3.6 gram ball. 266. I'm gonna shoot a couple more rounds and then adjust the velocity again. 272. I'll just adjust it now. I'm getting pretty consistent, like 265, 270. So I turned the velocity knob twice. So I'll see what this can do. 278. 280. 282. 278. So when I went to the A&S gear store, I was gonna buy a new feeder neck. 280. I was gonna buy a new neck for here because my old one, it cracked, and I was gonna buy a new hopper for this because my old one's like clear and it's like electronic, but it's kind of getting shattered and stuff. I was gonna buy it, but since we couldn't get it to work in the store, I told him, never mind, I'll just I'll tinker around with this thing at my house, and now it works. So I'll probably go there if I'm not too busy at work. I'll probably go there like before I go to work because they open at 9 a.m. I'll probably go there, buy a hopper, buy a feed neck, and then I'm just grabbing these balls out of here while I'm talking. Grab a feed neck, grab a hopper, possibly get the spring kit just to see if it does anything to affect the velocity. And I've seen some stuff online, like a different type of valve extender. I'll show you what that is right now, or how mine is on my gun. So that nub right there next to the gauge, I can't point to it right now. I'm pretty sure you know what piece it is. This thing, I can change this. There's a piece I've seen on eBay for like $8 that it says it's for Spyder markers, and it's called like a valve extension, and basically it lets you hold more air in the air chamber before it fires. So I'll look into that, since I know this works now, and I'll see if that does anything. I've also seen like a stock I can add on to right here to make it fit on my arm, you know, like a stock, and it won't do anything performance wise, but it'll be more comfortable to hold. I turned up the velocity again right now, and I'll shoot, see if I get higher than 280. 284. I'll fire again. I'm only using the 3.6 gram balls, nylon balls. 284. 284. So I feel like it's probably going to stay at this These are much more easier to adjust because like you can adjust it while it's aired up, because they're meant to be adjustable, like when you're playing on the field, quick adjustments for chronographs and stuff. Because when you're playing on an actual paintball field, you're not supposed to be hitting over 300. So I feel like maybe this might top out at 300 unless I do a bunch of modifications and stuff to it. 282, or like bypass the regulator or something. But yeah, I'm happy this works. I basically only bought like an O-ring and put different O-rings in it. And my mistake I made was I put the valve in incorrectly, because it's just a little metal piece, like a cylinder with 2 O-rings on it, and there's no way of knowing if it's in faced, like oriented correctly, unless you've worked on these before, you're super familiar with them, because it doesn't say like front, it doesn't have like an arrow, it doesn't say back or rear side, it doesn't say anything on it. But the one side has a smaller hole to allow air through, and the other side has a larger hole to allow air through. But when I looked at it and compared it to the strike bolt or striking bolt, it looked like one side fit the striking bolt better, so I flipped it over, and then now it works totally fine. 284. So yeah, that spring kit is like $9, and I get 9 springs, 3 for the valve right here, and then 3 main springs, and they're different like firmnesses. So one of them's really hard, one of them's medium firmness, and then the lightest spring is more like squishy, or like it's a lighter. So there's a light, medium, and heavy one for the front, and there's a light, medium, and heavy one for the back. And there's another set of these valve springs, because Spyder has 2 different valves that you can put them in, and the ones they had at the store fit this, and the other ones are like way bigger. I don't know what other marker that's for, like a Spyder brand marker that's for, but it's not for mine. So I feel like this might work a little bit better if I have a hopper on, because there is some air flying out the top, and if I change the barrel. But like I said, this thing's only worth like $5 or $10, so I'm just gonna work with what I got, see how high I could take it. I can still turn this velocity thingy up that's right here with that set screw taken out of it. I'll try right now. I'm gonna pause the video and start recording again. I'm gonna clear out the box. All right, I'll try a couple burnaballs. You'll get a higher FPS, but the bore match might be better because this barrel's kind of big. So here we go, burnaball. 324. So I think that's probably like 15 joules, if I remember correctly. 322. But it weighs about half a gram less than the balls I was shooting previously. 322. I'm going to turn up the velocity and then go back to the 3.6 gram balls. I'll probably just edit in to the video how hard it's hitting with the joule readings and stuff. So this is the 3.6 gram balls, and I have the velocity basically cranked down all the way. This is as high as I can get it, stock. Springs might adjust this a little bit, and springs also make you use more air or use less air. So I'll see what this does. 286. Loading another ball. Remember, this is a 3.6 gram ball, so 286. One more ball. 286. So yeah, if I was using burnaballs, it'll probably be like 330, 284, and a burnable is how much a paintball typically weighs, because paintballs usually weigh about 3 grams, and that's how much the burnaballs weigh. So if I was shooting paint out of this, it would be over the like allowable measure for safety reasons. 286. I'm going to clear out some of the balls. I think I just cracked one. All right, you guys, I'm going to use the burnaballs. This thing's maxed out currently. I can't really do anything else to make it go any harder or faster or whatever. Maybe I can put tape on these little holes that are on the barrel, but that'll be a different video. So burner balls, 2.9 grams, larger bore size. I'm thinking it's going to be like 330 or something, maybe 326. 322. 324. 324. 324. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go any higher than this. 324. 322. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop firing. So yeah, I mean, like, if you don't have the money for a Berna, or you don't have the money for a Salt Supply S2, and you can afford a like Umarex marker, but you don't want to modify it because it might be out of your you're either just not comfortable doing it, you can't like physically do it, or you you don't have tools, or like you don't want to risk messing it up because you're already on a budget to like buy a less lethal any sort of less lethal tool, like whether it's a pistol or a rifle or a shotgun or like pepper spray gel or something like that, you know, one of these like thousands of products they have now for this type of stuff. You could probably use a paintball marker and defend yourself, but there's limitations to it, and you'll have to probably change out springs and a couple other things with these like cheaper, more budget friendly paintball markers. Because yeah, they have Spyders, they've been around for a while. Like I said, I bought this in like 2007, 2006, and they still make paintball guns. I'm gonna dry fire this really quick. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much out of air. I'm gonna pause it really quick. So yeah, you like if you're on a budget and you don't mind that you have a larger sort of like rifle looking thing, and you don't want to pay $600 for a Berna TCR, or like modify a Umarex HDB shotgun, which is almost $200. You could try like a low budget friendly, low tier paintball marker and just, you know, tune it up. I'm not saying you should do this, but you can. And I think 325 feet per second with the Berna ball is about 15 joules. So you'll be doing just as good with a paintball marker as you would with a basically like $400 Berna SD, unless you got it on an eBay auction or you bought it used or something, the Berna SD, if you got some sort of discount on it. But I feel like most of the time, if I do see them for sale, they're still above $250 most of the time, like $275, maybe $300 for a used Berna SD, which is kind of like, it's a more luxury, I guess, type of less lethal, very reliable and stuff. But if you don't want concealability and you just want something and it's cheap, you could try one of these. Because yeah, like I said before, the Umarex markers, they're good, but you have to modify them. You either have to buy one modified and it costs extra, or you can pay like $100 and try to do one yourself, or you could get one of these and just tune it up, and you'll need some sort of air source to use it. But I'm pretty sure 15 joules isn't gonna permanently damage someone if you hit him, you know, like center mass area or in a leg or something. But if you get a good like headshot or neck shot or something, it's gonna hurt. They'll probably think twice before trying to approach you anymore. It's not gonna stop everybody, but it's something, you know, like this is something you could use. But yeah, I'm gonna get some stuff in the future. I know it works, so now I don't feel dumb if I spent money on this, especially like if you had an HPA tank instead of a CO2 tank, because I know these are harder to find or harder to fill for some people. You could get an HPA tank, get an actual hopper. This is 200 rounds, so you're pretty much, these are pretty efficient on air. So if I hook this up to one of my HPA tanks, I could get like 500 shots or something out of this thing with that bigger 48 ounce tank. With the small little tank that's like 13 CI, that's small. Well, it's not super small, but it's probably like this far and about that thick. A lot of people use them on the modified Umrex, where they just have a big old tank sticking out the back, or like I think like PCP rifles, that tank that's on those is pretty comparable to a 13 CI HPA tank. You can get about 100 shots out of an HPA tank using a normal paintball marker like this, and there's no magazines. You just fill this thing up and just keep firing. So yeah, it's an idea, it's an option. And yeah, I'll do stuff to this. I don't know if I want to spend like more than X amount of money to do that, because yeah, this thing was $8. I don't know if it fits. I'm assuming it fits. I don't know if that guy does returns and stuff. I don't really want to return it if it doesn't work. It's just, you know, $8. But the springs I can get locally, and they don't really have much else at my store for this thing besides just stock parts like O-rings and hoppers and stuff. But yeah, this is just a random kind of like different way of approaching this. But anyways, guys, hope you had a good night, and I'll see you on the next one.